Laura and I have been, and Laura's just been great. She's from Saskatchewan, Canada, and she has been a great advocate of our company. She cares deeply. She's been in this business for a little while. She's a science teacher by trade, and she just had a small wee one. And it's super cute. There's a video online of her trying to do a jewelry video and him spitting up on her. It's excellent.
I got like 1,000 hits.
I know, yeah. Oh, who doesn't want to see
he's
that,
got a
right?
million more, my
Yeah, who doesn't want to see that? But Laura is just very polished, and she's a great communicator, and she's a great student of the industry. So Laura, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. That's such a nice. But I'm used to it. This is like 7th period for me. This is like my 16-year-olds walking. 7th period, slump in, and I'm in the business of convincing them to like keep checked in for 40 more minutes. But this is easy because this is fun stuff. I'm passionate about this. I have to be honest. Sometimes in 7th period, when I was teaching, Chem 30 to a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds, I had to give myself a pep talk before I went. Truly, no jokes there. So that's number 1 challenge. Number 2, I'm talking all about goals this afternoon. And so far, a lot of you have been very active. I've actually looked around the room during the course of the day to get to know you guys. You might not know, but I'm a mother of 3, so I have eyes in the back of my head. So I've seen who's engaged. I've seen who's been on their cell phones. I've seen who's been writing, who's been really listening attentively. But what I know for sure is that you all invested to come here for a reason, right? So you're not going to check out in the next 30 minutes because you spent a lot of money to get here. And you spend a lot of money to get here because you believe in Sean and Annalise's vision. And I have to say this, Sean, I might get emotional for this. We all have times in our lives where we have to give ourselves a pep talk. Yeah. And when we can't, we lean on the people around us. The last 5 years of my life have been the most challenging, but they've been the most rewarding. And it's just by the grace of God and a blessing that I met Sean and Annalise on what was probably one of the hardest days of my life. December 1st, I got a phone call from an email actually saying you need to be on a phone call like at 11 o'clock. I'm excited. I'm like, awesome. We're going to find out where we're going on the next incentive trip. I'm excited in my former company. As soon as I got on the call, I was like, oh my God, somebody died. Like, this is serious. It's really somber. And then minutes later, basically for the first time in my entire life, lost a job. Yeah. I never lost a job before. I never didn't get the interview of the job, never. I was 8 months pregnant. I had retired myself from teaching from the 5 years in the business that I'd been with that company. I had recently been divorced. Really challenging last couple of years. Emotional at 8 months pregnant. Got off the phone and my fiance looked at me and I just like, I don't have a job anymore. He said, what do you mean you don't have a job? I don't. It's over. It's done. He started crying. My gosh, he will kill me if he knows. I told you that. He is 6'7". Man, farmer. He doesn't cry. He is sobbing like a little baby. I'm like, what are you crying for? You're my support system. We need a plan. If anybody knows me knows this. I always have a plan B, C. And that happened after I had been in a relationship for 17 years with the man, my ex-husband. And one day that all fell apart. And it wasn't my choice. And it happened. And now what? So I was like, I looked at my fiance. I'm like, well, this is easy. I mean, I'm sad, but the last 2 years I conquered everything. So, yeah, I'm going to get on the phone. So I went online, searched jewelry company. I knew jewelry was my passion. I knew that it inspired people. I knew that it changed lives. I just knew that I felt good after I went to a party. And I knew that jewelry is one size fits all. And I came from a family where we had a little bit of self-esteem struggle issues. Because we're German and we love to eat. So our size was round. That's our size. So I make a good schnitzel. You have to know. So I just loved it. And my sister, I forced her to have my first jewelry show 5 years ago. And I said, she goes, I hate jewelry. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I didn't ask if you liked it. I need to start, and you're going to help me. Now you never see that woman without jewelry. She was She hosted my very first jewelry in my last company party, and she hosted my very first jewelry, Mialisia. You know when I knew Mialisia was going to be a hit? I called her and I said, this was the day that we were fired from our last company. So I found a new company. She's like, well, you don't waste time. Nope, I don't. Everybody else, I mean, there's no money in lamenting and sitting around and grieving. I mean, the choice was made, it wasn't mine, so move on. So I said to her, I got a catalog, I want to show you. I'm like not even following my cards, by the way. These are Heritage Makers cards, because I've been a customer for 8 years, so I was pretty psyched when we heard the Heritage Makers. So I called her and I said, look at the catalog. She looked at it, she goes, and I was like holding my breath. She's my little sister, but she runs the pants in the sibling relationship. And she held her breath like what? She's like, you're going to do awesome with this. She said, women are going to love this. It is wearable. It is every day. She goes, I cannot wait to have my party. And I said, you're just trying to make me feel emotional? And she said, no, really, I'm not. Like, look at the price point. Look at that customer save plan. And she was psyched. So she's actually on Facebook promoting Mialisia. My last company, that didn't happen. It wasn't her style. So I knew right away I was going to be able to hit more lives and there were going to be more people excited. And when I had that call with Sean and Annalise, I called 4 companies that day. 4 companies. I said, this is who I am. This is my experience. Please have a CEO or somebody call me back. Like, I don't waste time. Mialisia, Brandy Rainey called me back within an hour. Within an hour. And she said, I'm setting up a call with you and Sean and Annalise tomorrow, this time. Can you be on? I certainly can. 5 days later, 2 other competitors called me and I said, I'm sorry, you missed the boat. So I knew that first call with Sean and Annalise. I just got off the phone and I said to my now husband, I said, I'm at the right place at the right time and this all happened for a reason. Sean and Annalise get their hands dirty. They get their feet wet. They are running the tech. They're doing everything. Yeah. My former company, I mean, the CEOs were hands off. They showed up in their limo, come on up, makeup done, everything, here we go, rah, 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 and then you leave. Maybe we get a little meet and greet, a little kiss and a hug, but they don't know your name. Yeah. They didn't know unless you were a top achiever. Sean and Annalise truly care, and they're so passionate. I get emotional when I see them get emotional. So you all know, I don't have to sit here and tell you, that your hearts are in this for the right reason as well. Okay? Because the thing that I was grieving the most the day that I lost that job was not my paycheck. I knew I could make money. My gosh, you go pick bottles and make money. Really. I lost a family. That's what I lost. Because we get in the business for the product and the free stuff, but we stay for the people. And now I'm going to get emotional. But remember, I have a 5-month-old, so I'm kind of hormonal. I was blessed enough to have some of my very good friends sitting in that row right there join me. They trusted me. They believed in me. They thought, you're not going to, run us in the wrong direction. And they came with me to Vegas. And I am who I am today because of these women and the rest of my team. I learned from them. I really feel privileged to work with them. I feel privileged to be here with the rest of you. I feel privileged to meet some of the great leaders that I did down in San Diego and that you heard from today. And I'm excited that I have new friendships to make. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, also, thank you for inspiring my new fitness school challenge. I was in the shape of my life after my divorce. It's called the divorce diet. It's the hardest one out there. No doubt, it is. Some of us don't have a choice in the matter, but my students, I was down 40 pounds, and my students, they didn't really know it. Some of them thought that I actually was really quite ill. I too, like Shelley, started running because running was a lot cheaper than my psychologist. Truly. But I kind of fell off the wagon when I got happy again. And then I was like, bring on the food, I'm German. But this morning in the leader breakfast, when they said, here's a table of t-shirts, come on and grab one. There's only extra small and small. I said, well, I'll grab one because it'll fit me 2 years down the road. So they've inspired my new fitness goal. And then when I purchased all of my new Longevity and Mialisia products in my 2 green bags, and they both weighed like 30 pounds, and I had to haul them all the way back to my room, I thought, well, I'm getting going on my fitness goal. Because life's about goals. You've heard it. And it's really funny how all the presenters who came up before me, and Annalise, you were the very first one, you said, 5 years ago, you talked about what life was like 5 years ago for you. And you painted the journey for us. At a very difficult time in my life, a very important woman in my life gave me this book. Where will you be 5 years from now? Has anybody read this book?
No.
You should read it. You should get it. I'm sure it's on Amazon. It is one of the most favorite go-to books. It picked me up. It relit my spark. It reminded me why I have purpose. We all have purpose. And it's not just about the goals in your business. It's the goals in your life, right? Because wealth is great. Health is the most important thing that there is out there for you. But we need to be happy. And if we're not happy at what we're doing, even if we're making $1 million a year, it's not worth it. Because in the end, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. But what you will take is all the memories and all the people that you formed relationships with. So if you don't have this book, please do get it. This quote up here, I'm sure you guys all had time to read it. How many of you would agree with that? Hands up. Would you agree with that? Okay, this is a working session because I'm a teacher. This isn't just about what I can do. This is about what you can do because you need to get your money's worth in this last 30 minutes. If you do not have a notebook out in front of you, there is some notes inside the brochure, so take that out. I want you to write down right now, and I'm going to wait till everybody does it, because I teach 16 and 17-year-olds. They have a lot of attitude. I want you to write down one goal that you have had in the last year. One goal that you have had in your mind, in your psyche, out there, that you have had in your life or your business in the last year. Write it down. What's one goal that you have had? Okay, so you guys have written down that goal. How many of you now, by show of hands, if you feel comfortable, reached that goal? You reached that goal. Okay, how many of you are still working toward that goal? Awesome. You know what? To me, it doesn't matter if you reached it or you're working towards it. What matters? That you had it. That you had one. Here's the thing. Okay, now I'm going to go to I'm so far off. This is nothing that I wrote. Here it is. Studies show that people who regularly write down their goals earn 9 times as much as people who don't. 9 times as much. But 80% of people don't even have goals. And if they have them, they don't write them down. Here's what I know about teaching. It takes 7 times to hear something, hear it, see it, process it, to get it. So the comp plan that you've been trying to get your head wrapped around and that your leader's been saying, listen to my calls, listen to Sean's call, read the FAQ I sent out, you got to do it at least 7 times before you get it. And if you really want to get it and you want to get serious about it, you need to have it visual. How many of you have a vision board? How many of you have a picture up on your screensaver or your phone of what you want? It's that picture of the car you want. It's that picture of your dream home. Okay? Here's what I did in my former company. Every time they released the trip announcement, the trip incentive, printed it out, up on my fridge. Times 2. I was hitting it for 2. I earned every trip that I was on for 2 with my former company. I taught full-time. I owned a construction company with my husband. I taught figure skating 4 days a week. And I had 2 small children. Hence, the ending to that marriage was kind of on that track. So I definitely needed balance. However, I set the goal and I needed to make sure that I hit it. So it was visual. So I don't care if you put it on your fridge, if you put it on your screensaver, if you put it on your phone, it needs to be visual. So you can remind yourself every day, that is why I'm getting on the phone and making 100 calls and getting 98 no's, but those 2 yeses could make all the difference. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
You need to make it visual. So less than 4% of people write down their goals. Okay, what percentage of the world's population are millionaires? Anybody tell me? 1%. 1%. I mean, my stats could be wrong, and for all you know, I could be making this up. Truthfully, the art of teaching, lots of times you just gotta make stuff up. They don't know, they believe you anyway. 1%. 1%. So coincidentally, 1% of people who actually set goals, write them down, review them on a regular basis. Because we can all print something out and put it on your fridge. But if you don't have an action plan, at the end of every month say, did I meet these steps to get to where I need to be? What does that picture matter? I have an accountability partner, or I did have an accountability partner. in my former company. And now I truly, have Sean and Annalise that I bounce ideas off of, and also my team. How many of you have an accountability partner? Somebody who you regularly review your goals. Can I see show of hands? Okay, so 3, 4. Some of you aren't sure. He or she is imaginary. You talk to them, you know they're there. Okay, how many of you would see the value in having an accountability partner? Yes or no? All right, where's Louise? Yes or yes? That is awesome. I'm going to use that in my teaching career. Okay, the choice is yes or yes. So have an accountability partner, whether it be your spouse, your best friend, somebody who's in the business, because if we aren't held accountable, it's easy to do what?
Let go.
Okay, anybody ever tried to lose a pound or 2 over the course of your life? Yeah? Okay. So how many of you, has it been easier if you were on that course with somebody else? Somebody that you weighed in with. Somebody who's like, hey, I lost 5 pounds, girl, this week. What did you lose? 6. Like 2, right? So you need to have an accountability partner. So if you don't have one, that could be your to-do, action plan. This is what I'm going to do when I get home. All right? So you set that goal, you make it visual, you review it on a regular basis, and you have an accountability partner. It's really as simple and as difficult as that. Because if you don't follow the steps, you're not going to reap the rewards. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to run out of time. This is what happens. The bell rings, everybody leaves, I'm not done. And I need to tell you something about, do you notice that my slides are different from everybody else's?
Yes.
Okay. Not because I'm stubborn and I want to be different. I actually thought we got to make our own slides, so I put a lot of effort into this because being the teacher, want to make sure it counts. Black, white, and red are the colors that catch the most attention when you're speaking to an audience. Coincidentally, I noticed Annalise is wearing black and white today. I didn't plan to wear black and white. Actually, my good friend Selena, I was going to wear something else that was probably a little less flattering. And thankfully, for Selena's honesty, she said, no, you should wear the black and white. But black, white, and red. When you have a black background and white words with red in what you want to pop out, that sticks up here. Again, I just read it somewhere. Could be total, but I'm going with it. So, Albert Einstein, I'm a science teacher. So, Einstein, he's just a master. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. How many of you have kids in the room? How many of you have kids that are under the age of 5? Like, what a wonderful world, okay, with a 5-year-old. I know when I was going through my separation, I found what it was like to connect to my kids again, because I had lost that. I was so busy, earning a goal, achieving a dream, going through the motions, doing what my upline said, achieving every incentive there was, just did everything. And I lost sight of some of the most important things. And that reset button let me connect. So I know my son always used to say, Mom, come play trucks with me. I don't know how to play trucks. Like, I got down on the ground and I could play imaginary trucks for like 2 minutes. I don't know what to do. I didn't really know how to have fun that way. I didn't know how to imagine. Because as we age, what do we lose? Yeah, we lose the fun factor. Because we're afraid of being silly. Because we don't trust in our dreams, right? We just don't. I have a 5-year-old boy that, oh my gosh, I could actually get rich writing quotes that he comes up with every day. In fact, he's a Facebook celebrity. And this isn't the puking baby. This is the 5-year-old who every day he comes up with something, and I'll post it, and people are saying, when's your next Loganism, we call it? Because the things that come out of his mouth. So what I want you to do right now is ask yourself in your head, how is your imagination? Do you imagine on a regular basis what your life could be like? How many of you do that? Oh my gosh. I need to connect with you guys because I have a hard time imagining. I know, I have a goal, but just imagining what life could be like. So think about this amazing opportunity. When I had the opportunity to join Mialisia, it didn't take me long, hey Sean, to decide? He's busy. Nope, it didn't.
It did not take long.
I asked a lot of questions though, did I not?
Yes, you still do.
I asked a lot of questions because I wanted to make sure that the people that were trusting in me and believing in me, that I was leading them in the right direction. That was very important to me. Very important. So let's let our imaginations run wild. Let's just let them run wild. You've heard the amazing opportunity we have. I love this. I've already had a Heritage Makers party last week. Because I have a best friend who sells jewelry from another competitive company, and she had a whole line of customers I could not touch. And as soon as I got to multiply it by 2, times it by 2. Now think, what would your life look like if that was your salary? What would life be like? Now, we don't go there because we think, we couldn't possibly do that. We couldn't possibly do that. But let me share this with you. I got to share this. I'm not going to get to what I need to get to. This is what happens. Okay. I don't think I get time tomorrow. In 5 years, here's what happened. Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus, they were fired from their home improvement jobs. And in 5 years, they created a business model called, anybody know? Home Depot. They created Home Depot after they were fired from their home improvement jobs. And in 5 years, after losing their jobs, their annual sales were $1 billion. In just 5 years. At the age of 30, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos was living in a 500 square foot apartment, and 5 years later, after creating Amazon, his net worth was $10 billion in 5 years. We now have an Amazon-like opportunity in front of us, folks. It is like the Amazon of direct sales. I did 2 parties last week because I didn't stop. I don't stop. I need to keep the momentum. So I have 5 shows booked this month. I had 2 last week, and I gently introduced, just like Louise suggested, because we had talked about this, how to gently introduce it by asking them, what products do you currently use? And then I did the ask me about my business game. Do you know what they asked me? About all the longevity products. Because I did a really good job presenting the jewelry. They were already fired up and passionate about that. But women love to shop. We love to spend money, let's face it. Not like we direct 70% of the how we spend in our households. So that's what you can all accomplish in 5 years. So sometimes you need to hear these success stories, right? Okay, you can't hit an invisible target. Les Hewitt, he's the author of The Power of Focus. He also worked with Jack Canfield on the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I had the privilege to meet this man in my very first year of being in direct sales in Calgary, Alberta. If you have not read this book, The Power of Focus, it was a game changer. It takes 21 days to make or break a new habit. I'm starting day 1 after I get home from Vegas. I said to my husband, when I get home, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, salt-free. And we'll see if we can make it 7 days. It'll take 7 days at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. 1 foot in front of the other. But you can't hit an invisible target. Here's what's awesome. Longevity and Mialisia has the target for us. They have the target. They have the plan. I co-owned a construction company for 8 years. $500 didn't even buy us a box of nails. And we were always in debt, always trying to get ahead, building homes for other people, and just couldn't hardly make ends meet ourselves. And the saddest day is when I looked at my ex-husband at the time and I said, I've been in direct sales for 2 years and I'm making more than you and I have for 8 years doing construction. And I'm at home all the time with our kids, and you put in 14 hours a day. So, it's as easy and as simple as that. Longevity and Mialisia has the target for us. We just need to put that plan into action. So SEMD, Senior Executive Marketing Director. You might know what that is right now. You might not know it. But remember, I said, how many times does it take for you to look at something? 7. It's okay to ask questions. No question is stupid if you don't know the answer. Right? So SEMD, Senior Executive Marketing Director, that's your target. You want to hit that target, and you want to help others in your organization hit that target. That's your benchmark. I'm a teacher, so look what I did. An analogy. And the other teacher's writing it. Set your goal to execute the plan and maximize your earning potential by duplicating that plan with others. That's what you do. Who in the room right now would say, I have no idea what SEMD is, Laura? By show of hands. And that's okay. That is okay. Because we're at the beginning. Remember, I said you don't need to know all the answers. Okay? Because that's what your upline's for. That's what Sean Annalise is for. That's what Patty's for. Here's what it is quick. Okay? You personally have to do 250 PV a month, personally. That can be in purchases through Longevity or with Mialisia through your retail sales in your Mialisia side. You need to have 3 RMDs on your team. And again, later on, follow up, you can follow that up with your upline. And you need to have 5,400 GQV. I was doing this in month 1 with Mialisia. Okay? So it's not that hard. It's not that hard. If you have a vision, if you have a passion, and people can see that you're passionate about your product, right? It's not about convincing people. It's not about selling. It's about telling. Okay? Somebody said to me, oh, I'm not good at sales. I said, are you good at telling people about how excited you are about things? Well, yeah. Well, then you're good at sales. That's what it is. Okay? So who's your focus partner? And your goal needs to be SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. Now, I can send this out later to everybody if you would like. Because, again, I know it takes 7 times to see something, and do I need to wrap it up? Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I just found this quote, and I love it. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. Everybody starts with the same opportunity. Everybody starts with the same kit. The person who's earning the most isn't the one who got lucky. It's the one who did what? Worked the hardest, okay, and never gave up. So choose your hustle. The women have already told you today, choose your passion. You don't have to know everything, but you know what? There's no money in sitting stagnant. There's no money in sitting on the fence, right? So choose your passion, keep doing parties, and slowly introduce the longevity concept to your shows. And your customers will be just as excited about it as you are, because you're responsible for the energy you bring to the room. And that is what I had on my sign coming into my door. You have a bad attitude, that's your problem, not mine. So go out the door, come back in, change your attitude, and then we'll start again. And that's what I used to tell myself and also my students. You're responsible for the energy you bring into the room. So if you're a Debbie Downer, everyone's going to be a Debbie Downer around you, right? If you're excited and passionate, you're going to ignite that in others. So having said that, I hope that I inspired and sparked a couple of dreams and ideas for you, because really it's about putting it into action. So thank you very much. Very pleasure to be here with you.